With Norman Floyd Barnes, I know the Epstein files has released a lot of controversial issues linking up to not only the rich billionaires clubs, but also people who are in powerful positions, state leaders from around the globe, and that definitely includes the British Prime Minister and his appointment of Peter Mandelson, the ambassador to the USA back in those days. And they were also implicated in the Epstein files. I want to know what is the aftermath. It is causing an issue inside US politics, is causing issues for another nation. What are the implications? I want to know more from Norman Floyd Barnes.
Good morning. We just recovered from my annual Super Bowl and the Bad Bunny halftime show. That's the biggest conversation here, along with the extreme cold weather. Um, the Epstein file will continue to erode the powerful, the high, the mighty, and the elite. More and more celebrities, high-profile individual, power brokers will be exposed, putting them to a situation where they have to make a decision about their current position and their status in the I guess in the political world we deal with. So hold on. There's additional information that come out. There's a lot of people involved in this. It appears to be touching every aspect of the high and the mighty. And this will well, it will basically enlighten people on exactly who we elect to these offices and how much power we give them, and basically face the fact that everybody has weaknesses. And unfortunately, in this case, we have people with extreme weaknesses and fetishes that they use their power to, I guess, enjoy and provide personal pleasure. In this situation, we can see a lot more heads going to roll.
The Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova said yesterday, speaking to local media, that the Epstein case is a story about conspiracy amongst those in positions of power in various countries and within international organizations. Their influence on financial and economic processes around the world remain uncertain. Of course, these are monstrous crimes that were committed not out of hopelessness or even out of depravity. These crimes were committed for the sake of evil. These are the comments coming
Just
from
greed, financial greed.
from Russia. And of course, in the studio, Ali Ahmed says it is from financial greed. But given the circumstances of the US in the last 38 or 39 days, we have seen their actions from around the world in Venezuela, not only so in Iran, and it is going through a turmoil. We have a 4-day shutdown that has ended, and of course, there is the midterm election coming up end of this year. However,
in November.
In November, and not only so, the humans, the citizens in America do not see eye to eye with some administration decisions, including the enforcement of ICE and deployment of national troops all around in the 50 states. I wanted to know, given the timing, the US Justice Department has released almost over 2,000 videos, 180,000 images under the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which was signed into law last November. My question to Norman, it has changed the dynamic, it has changed the initial campaign focus, the campaign promise, making America great again. However, it has only made and tarnished the name, reputation of America. So I want to know what is held in the near future? What is the future of the White House?
The future of the current administration is their campaign on Make America Great Again. But the world is trying to figure out great in what aspect. It appears by all means that we want to go back to a period of racism, bigotry, oppression, and colonialism. Uh, if that's what the current administration is calling great, they are being very successful at what they're doing. However, the world has changed. You can't go back, you have to move forward. So, as this campaign of making America great again is becoming a great pain, to the rest of the world, and the world are shunting exactly this campaign. And basically, they're looking at alternatives. Other parts of the world, other countries, people are now coming together and they are now realizing that we do not have to depend on what the United States says, does, or want us to do. We have freedom, free spirit, and people realizing, countries realizing that they can do it themselves. They can work with other people, and the impact of the United States is going to diminish. It's still going to be a superpower. However, people will look at other options. They will have conversations. They will have trade agreements. They will have military agreements. They will have other things that will not include the United States. So the future looks like change, and the changes doesn't include the current situation with the Western dominance. It's going to be a more multipolar world. You have options, you have choices. Yes, there'll be some people who choose to work with the United States, but that relationship will be very temporary, and it's not going to be one of honesty. It's be one basically of a direct sale because I need you, I tolerate you, but I'm not going to embrace you. So as we highlight exactly who this America Great theme is about, we, as I mentioned before, this is Black History Month. We are looking at situation, and again, we have another situation comes up. There's a governor's meeting on the 19th and 20th, and we have right now currently one uh, Democratic Black governor, and he's been uninvited to this event. So when someone tells you who they are, you have to listen, you have to see. So basically, what you're seeing and what you continue to go to see is a biased administration that cares about their agenda, America great again. And everybody know what America great again. That means America white great is whites are great again. Everyone else is not included. So the code word is now understood in all languages that this is not something for the world. This is something for a select few. So we wait, we see, we observe, we adjust, we adapt.
India and Malaysia. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has completed a 2-day official visit to Malaysia at the invitation of the Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. His first foreign trip of the year, of course. This follows the elevation of India-Malaysia relations to a comprehensive strategic partnership which began in August 2024. Of course, the deals included a lot of MOUs and agreements it has had inclusively semiconductors and advanced manufacturing, defense and security, cooperation, disaster management and peacekeeping, vocational education and healthcare, and of course, we must include renewable energy and the high technology sectors. These markets were definitely talked about. Both of the sides expressed intent to expand bilateral trade with discussions on increasing trade volumes beyond the roughly 18.6 billion US dollar level recorded back last year, encouraging settlement of trade in local currencies, the Indian rupee and the Malaysian ringgit. This is, of course, bringing in the two leaders in Asia. One is, of course, of the BRICS lineup, while the other remains the center point for the entire world for representing the ASEAN nations of Asia. So I want to begin with Norman Floyd Burns regarding this case. This is, of course, a time where people are seeking friendships and alliances away from the Western world, away from the Western hemisphere, due to tariffs, sanctions, and multiple geopolitical crises that go out because of not wanting or not understanding the intent of the said nation. So I want to know from Norman Floyd Burns, the India-Malaysia partnership, what is the outcome and how do you think it will bolster against another Asian giant, China? I want to know more from Norman Floyd Burns.
Yes, as a result of the Trump administration tariffs rules and other military matters, Malaysia, India, and other countries are now seeing the light. They are now communicating. They are now sharing trade. They are now talking about how they can work collectively together for the betterment of both. This is a positive and a shining example of what can be if you talk to your neighbor. Uh, Everything these countries needs is right here in South Asia. I mean, there's a possibility is now becoming a hotspot for trade, tourism, wellness. It's a $1 billion market. So the more these countries start talking about and sharing their resources and trade, the better off they'll be. They'll become more stable, more confident, and people will see the outside world will see exactly that this is will be what we call a desired destination. And they have the power for the future right now. And everything is moving towards that. So the positive spin of all this chaos going on is that now countries are now seeing that they have the power and they independently can do things to help their own good and not be so dependent on an outside force who want to control and manipulate how you conduct business and being allegiant, being basically being uh, loyal and conservative and basically beckon and calling to them. So this is a good thing. Independence is a good thing. Communications is a better thing. So let's see how this thing works out. I'm cheering for these countries, and hopefully this will be a example of what other countries can do, and we start seeing change.